Hello everyone and welcome to our crowdfunding campaign on Indiegogo. We're trying to raise some money for our paranormal series Phantom Force. Now, this series came about in 2005 due to myself and some other filmmakers being involved within the paranormal, doing some promotional videos and some pilot episodes and things like that, all kind of along the Most Haunted lines and so on. We soon discovered that Most Haunted, not a lot I can say there. It's more of an entertainment program than a factual paranormal show. We decided to do something that was a little bit different. Different how? Firstly, and most importantly, we wanted to give you a show that was honest. And yes, it really is honest. The honesty is apparent on screen, so you don't have to just take my word for it. I have seen some strange things over the years. I've never seen a medium fight with a spirit before.
Yeah. You wait for me. I'll be ready to meet you. Yeah, get out. Don't bully me.
What an actor. I just thought he was merely playing to an audience. But right, here we go. Have a little fight, but nothing really happened. From our point of view, it was just Carrington versus a wall.
This was a show about investigating everything, but not just proving the existence of ghosts, because we don't know that they exist in the first place, but also looking at things like psychic mediums. Are they actually real? What if the proof we find has nothing to do with the paranormal whatsoever? What if it is that it's just all in people's heads? What if it's fake?
I thought really that was a lot of old rubbish.
No matter what, whether it's paranormal, fake, or all in the head, we're going to be investigating and we're going to be giving you the results. We've given the show a very different look. It's very stylish, it has high production values, and that's saying something considering that the majority of the series was made with no money at all. We funded this show out of our own pockets, and it was made for the internet. It's available for people to watch freely. We're not after ratings, we're not after fame, and we're not after money. And when I say we're not after money, what I mean is from the results of this. But we do need the money to bring this show to you. Phantom Force has been in production since 2007. We released 2 episodes online during 2008 and 2009. These episodes done incredibly well. We didn't imagine for 1 second that we'd get the reaction to these episodes that we did. People have been crying out for more from this series for the past few years, but work, time and money, yep, those negative things that always go against us independent filmmakers, got in the way and continue to get in the way. This show will arrive one way or another, but the way things are going at the moment, it could take a while for each episode to be released. We need help.
Hello?
We received attention from all over the world. We even had TV personalities getting in contact to tell us about their appreciation of the show. This actually led to us getting a job working on a TV pilot for a BBC TV spin-off called Britain's Greatest Haunts. That show too done very, very well online. Unfortunately, TV broadcasters don't want this type of television show anymore due to constant repeats of some of the shows that have been on TV for the past 10 years or so. Plus, many of these shows, as already mentioned, are now looked upon as just being purely entertainment. There's a lot of question over whether or not these shows are real or fake. And unfortunately, the broadcasters are more interested in milking those shows to death rather than bringing you a new show, something different. In their shows, they want scares. Now that's understandable. There's no point keeping a show on TV if the ratings are low. But it seems that many of these shows are possibly faking in order to keep those ratings up. Now for myself, as the director of this show, part of the challenge was to keep the show interesting, even though we may not have paranormal activity on camera every single episode. Now anyone that's been working in the paranormal for a long time, like myself, knows full well that those things don't happen every single time. In fact, they happen very, very rarely. So we've managed to keep this show interesting in all kinds of other ways. Just because we may not have paranormal activity on camera doesn't mean the episodes can't still be interesting. As mentioned, we're looking at everything. Psychology comes into the paranormal in a big, big way, and we will definitely be using a lot of that too. This show is suitable for believers and skeptics alike. Those involved in the show are very much on the fence. There are some that are a little bit more believer and a little bit more skeptic, but we still approach everything from on the fence. We're very fair, but we're also very straight about what needs to be said.
His voodoo beads, which he brought along with him, which was meant to scare the ghosts, was more like a prop.
I think that's more psychological than anything, but it did work on me. I'm open to the power of suggestion. I can't, I've got to admit to that part.
How can cow's teeth possibly ward off evil spirits?
The first episode of Phantom Force was made with no money whatsoever. In fact, we didn't even have half the equipment that we needed to make this kind of show. We had a camera. We had no sound equipment. We basically done the best with what we could do. And I believe the results are still pretty impressive. Episode 2 was on a slightly bigger scale. We did have some of the equipment. We also had a lot of special effects knowledge by this stage. And no, just to be clear, we don't use special effects to put ghosts on the screen. If you watch the show, you'll see exactly where the effects come in, and they are put to very good use. Further episodes of this show, which have been filmed all over the UK at some very, very well-known locations and some completely unknown locations, have been done with the equipment. We got more film crew as the series went on. We got a bigger cast as the series went on. We had the likes of Richard Felix from Most Haunted.
A lieutenant from the Second World War that died in a shooting accident and was gay. I've never had a gay ghost before. It's the first time for everything.
Mark Webb from TV's Haunted Homes and Living with the Dead also joined the show. Steve Wood from Soul Seekers joined the show, and we had a whole number of guests from all over the UK, be it paranormal groups, independent investigators, psychics, you name it. Each episode we have different guests, and we take a look at and promote those people and their work. For further information about this show, please check out our page on Indiegogo. Please help us to create the ultimate paranormal series. We've filmed 18 episodes. As mentioned, 2 of those have already been released. The rest, there are still bits that need filming. Most of that will still be done in its usual way. But for all the work that needs to be done, and to get these episodes to you quicker, we are going to need funding. If you can't donate, don't worry, but please help spread the word. Spread the word about the campaign, and please spread the word about the series, because the more people we can get watching this series, the better. A huge thank you to those of you that have already donated. Because of you, the DVD for episode 1 is already in the works and will be released soon. Anyway, that's enough from me. I'm going to leave you with this. We've all heard the stories. Stories of those that have passed over, still walking the halls of their homes many years later, returning from the other side with unfinished business, or to help guide those they left behind. Some have seen them, some have felt their presence. Ghosts and spirits. And we invite you to join us on our quest for the truth. Who are we? We're Phantom Force.